Hi everyone and welcome back to another build video. Today's build is Alexander the Great. I'm a big fan of Alexander the Great for all of his flaws and achievements. Alexander of Macedon inherited an incredible military machine from his father Philip II. Their military was known for its phalanx. Alexander was the head of the companion cavalry, first supporting Philip II in battle and eventually after Philip's death. But let's get into what he actually fought with. So Alexander was primarily a spear user. The historian Arrian speaks of him using his spear, losing it in somebody, using it, and grabbing another one from one of his colleagues to use again rather than using his swords. So they were spear users primarily, but they also used the coppice and the xiphos. In terms of the xiphos, I've decided to go with the Inseparable sword. It does have the same type of shape, although it is massively bigger than a xiphos sword. But it's nice that this has a little bit of holy damage, just to mix things up with a lightning build. We're also using Messmer's Soldier's Spear. This thing does insane damage. I mean, I've been able to pretty much one-shot Gideon with it. It's wild. It really is wild. This was the first time I've played with a spear build and actually really enjoyed playing with it. I'm using the Grossmesser, or Grossmesser, not sure how you pronounce that. I've put the Barbaric Raw Ash of War on both of them, although you could use Royal Knight's Resolve on one of those as well. I really like the attacks when dual wielding these swords. It's a bit different from the katana dual wielding, which I'd started to get a little bit bored of. I'm also using the Golden Lion Shield. This shield's great. I really like that it has an Ash of War where you can just shield bash somebody. I'm also using the Gravelstone Seal, and the incant scaling is 282. So because Alexander believed he was the son of Zeus, I made this build a lightning-based faith build, and we are using almost exclusively Dragon Cult Incantations. We're using Lightning Spear. Great range on this, great damage, love Lightning Spear. Knight's Lightning Spear, throw a few extra ones with it. We're also using Fortissax's Lightning Spear, love this. We're also using Honed Bolt, so you can strike a single foe, as well as using Lightning Strike to take down a number of them, and then also Frozen Lightning Spear. So in terms of buffs, we are using Golden Vow, which will boost your damage by 15% and also damage negation by 10%. We're also using Vike's Dragon Bolt, just enchants your armament with lightning affinity and also decreases your lightning damage negation. So we're using Howl of Shabriri. So this increases your damage by 25%, but it also increases your damage taken by 30% and also increases aggro of enemies, so you will take more aggro. Now, Alexander was known for wearing lion armor, so his helm had a lion's head as the helm. Now, of course, we could go down the Radahn route with all of the lion details and things as well, but it just looked too bulky for me. It didn't look very Greek hoplite. We didn't get the nice little details of the sandals and shin protectors that look very Greek hoplite. So yeah, Freyja's armor set for me is the best option for this build. In terms of talismans, we're using a Lightning Scorpion Charm. This will increase your lightning damage by 12%. It also reduces your damage negation, but it's quite negligible. I think the benefits far outweigh the detrimental effects. We're also using Millicent's Prosthesis. This is going to increase our dex by 5, as well as giving us that successive attack increased power. I'm using the Godfrey Icon. The reason being is most of the spells that I'm using are chargeable. So that's going to boost attack damage by 15% of every spell that is chargeable. Dragoncrest Greatshield Talisman, boosting 20% damage negation. If you're a god tier player, you could probably play without this. I'm not, so I play with it. So we're using Stormhawk Dean, based on the story of Alexander getting lost in the desert with his army, and then Zeus apparently leading him out the desert as a hawk and showing him the way to the oracle at Siwa. And I'm also using things like lightning grease, drawstring lightning grease, ancient dragon bolt pots, and hefty lightning pots. Generally anything lightning based. In addition to Stormhawk Dean, another ashes you could use would be our favourite, the Greatshield Soldier ashes. It's about as close to the Phalanx as you can get. So in terms of Wondrous Physick, I'm using a lightning shrouding cracked here to temporarily boost my lightning attacks by 20%. I'm using a spike cracked here for 3 minutes of enhanced charge attacks, and it increases them by 15%. So let's have a look at the looks of the build. I've tried to get this as accurate as possible, although what Alexander the Great actually looked like 2,000 and odd years ago, who knows. It's about as close as I could get the looks, really. I can post the sliders to this if anybody would like them. I won't waste time on it in case people aren't really fussed. Great, well thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you like the build. I hope you like the theme of the build. Please like and subscribe. I haven't been doing this very long, so any support is really appreciated.